What's up? I'm so purple right now. And now is it cycling? It is cycling. Well, I hope that's not annoying.
No, the production value is out of this world. Really.
Yeah, we had a budget. We had a high budget for this morning.
You guys are recording right now?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you guys just released an album, but hey, what do I know?
We had the discussion with these shows, we were like, okay, do we pile 5 people into an SUV and pull our trailer with no merch to sell and go play these 4 shows, or do we cancel them and try to get our van back and basically just like use whatever time we have to record something new and at least have something productive come out of this weekend. So we elected to do that one, and if we hadn't chosen that, we actually wouldn't have gotten our van back because that allowed us to chase the van down and get it back. So
how'd that happen? Did you
we had a tracker in it, but that was the only reason we were able to like watch the stamps and triangulate the location and chase it down and get it. So we did it through that. We found it abandoned in a parking lot. The cops came out, did nothing except like grab some fake license plates out of the car. We're like, all right, well, it's yours again. And then like just left us to sit there with it while we tried to get it towed. Now we just, wait to find out how much it's going to cost us to undo all of the shit that they did to it.
That sucks. I mean, it's a rite of passage.
Getting a van is the first rite of passage with touring, and then the next one is having it stolen or broken into or something.
Right.
It was all of our CDs, all of our tapes, all of our shirts.
That sucks, dude. And it sucks because it's not like they can do anything with the fucking merch. They could rock it.
Yeah.
They could rock it. So.
I was telling the guys maybe in like a year some kind of raid will happen and we'll just find out that our merch was in like some sort of like large crime boss's warehouse or some shit.
Maybe you guys would be questioned. You're like, do you guys know anything about thousands of pounds of
cocaine? God. Holy shit, I didn't even think about that. They somehow connect it to us because of the merch. Oh no.
I don't know why I want to put this on my YouTube, to be honest with you. I don't even do this kind of thing. I just do movie reviews at this point. Anyway, so I wanted to just ask a couple questions. Mostly about Teach. I've been listening to the album like front to back quite a bit, and Teach has always been, I've always wondered what a couple of the lines, and I think you probably know what they are because there's a couple, I would say, shocking, I guess, lines, and I would love to know what they mean because it sounds like you're threatening people. And if that's the case, awesome. What is Teach about in just general?
Teach is kind of about just growing from where you are as a child and where you're raised, and learning that a lot of the like ideals and stuff that you were surrounded with are unhealthy and not good for humanity, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
And so it's basically just like an examination of like living in a world where you're a depressed person struggling with mental health, but also trying to wrestle with things that you were raised in and getting out of that, and also trying to kind of like reconcile with people or being able to be okay with like cutting ties with people. A lot of like 2020 especially was just like me and other people kind of like mutually cutting ties with each other from my past, where I was like, well, if you're going to say like terrible racist shit or like terrible homophobic shit to me directly, or like to just on your timeline, like I'm just not going to continue to like follow you and talk to you and consider you like an acquaintance even. So that's in a nutshell what the song is about.
Here's what I got to ask. The lines, and they're in quotes on Genius Lyrics or whatever. You better teach your children to run. We're going to teach them how to fire guns. You better teach your children to run. What is that line about?
Essentially like a snapshot of where I felt like, and I mean, I'll say still feel like kind of like the country was, with just gun violence and violence in schools and just violence in the world in general. And that's why it's in quotes, as opposed to like the first person kind of perspective of the rest of the song, is because the line, it comes out of it too, where it talks about like a rung falling off of a ladder and then hearing it whisper as it hits the ground, you better teach those children to run. We're going to teach them how to fire guns. And it's basically just kind of meant to portray the feeling of like working so hard to like get through your life and to accept and and love people and get rid of things of yourself that's not good. And then still seeing all of this stuff happening around the world and like all these terrible things happening. And I almost feel like you just know at this point, if you bring children in the world, like they're in for a pretty like rough ride, at least at this point.
Right.
And that's not to say people are wrong for having kids or anything like that. So that's what that line is about.
And then it comes back as
they say, you better teach that fucker to run.
you better teach that fucker to run. What is such that is such a, it's just so catchy. It is just like when that happens, I don't know, there's something about that. Like
that is meant to show and kind of portray like how I feel a lot of the times the country, you know, like they don't care. Our country doesn't care about the people in it and like the children in it. And it just kind of shows like the degradation of that, how it starts off with like, you better teach those children to run, but then it devolves into like even more past that. So it's kind of in the middle of like an angry batch of songs in early 2021 that came out of like living through 2020 and just like seeing all of the ignorance and stuff that went around and trying to like cope with it and also understand like where do I sit in it and how do I even approach like speaking about it, you know?
Oh, I fucking love it. You guys have a Patreon, right? Something like that. Maybe
yeah, I was gonna say, cool. I guess it's a shameless Patreon plug, but I currently weekly have an episode going up for each song, one at a time, of just like giving the backstory on mostly lyrics, a little bit of like, we did this with the song to make it sound better, or here's how it was written. But a lot of it's just literally like, this is what the song is talking about and like what the lyrics mean. So if somebody's interested in hearing that, you can hear it for like $5 a month.
Fucking Patreon rocks. All right, bro. Well, I'm gonna let you get back to recording and doing whatever you're doing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course.
It's always nice to know somebody wants to talk about things. The last time I talked about this song, it was a much different scenario. Because it was my dad being like, "Why'd you say fuck?" So this was a much more enjoyable conversation.
I like how it's not the subject material of you better teach those kids how to run. It's just like, you said fuck. Come on.
Yeah, no, the kids running is fine. It's the fuck word that's bad.
All right, bro. Well, you enjoy recording. Tell everybody I said what's up.
I will.
I hope
Thank
you find your merch. That'd be nice.
That would be sick. I'm gonna go look for it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
You better teach that fucker to